plan to kill the king continued to gather momentum within the kingdom. The kingdom had a wise advisor named Ekemma. Ekemma had served King Olumide since he was a young boy. She knew the king's heart better than anyone else. She had been his teacher, guiding him with wisdom, teaching him how to rule with kindness and fairness. But deep down Ekemma's heart, she had her own desire. She too had grown tired of serving the king and living in the shadows. She didn't want the throne for herself, but she was consumed by envy and jealousy of the love and respect the king received. She wanted to be remembered. She wanted her name to be spoken as the one who shaped the kingdom's destiny. Her bitterness and envy grew, and when Adana began his plot to kill the king, Ekemma saw her chances. She knew it was wrong, but she betrayed the king by feeding lies to the people. She whispered of the king's weakness, how the king was too soft, too lenient with criminals, and how the kingdom was vulnerable under his rule. The people, once royal, began to doubt their king. It wasn't long before the plot was set in motion. The king, unaware of the betrayal, trusted Ekemma as always. One night, as the storm rages outside, Adana and Ekemma's plan came to fullness. They had gathered the kingdom's most influential men and women, those with money, power, and ambition, and together they stormed the king's palace. They killed the king in his place. The kingdom's heart died with him, and the land once blessed began to crumble. Not too long the gods do not look kindly upon betrayal. The first sign of the gods' wrath came swiftly. The crops, which had once been abundant, withered and dried up. The rivers that flows through the kingdom, providing waters and life, dried up also. People who had once lived in comfort now thrived in the streets. But it wasn't just the land that was cursed. The people who had betrayed the king began to suffer in ways they had never imagined. What a pity and what a lie. Adana, once a mighty warrior, became weak and frail. His strength left him, and his body twisted in pain. He couldn't even lift a sword anymore. His riches turned to dust, and he was forced to beg in the street. Ekemma, the once wise advisor, lost her mind. The guilt of her betrayal consumed her, and she was haunted by the king's face every night in her dreams. The people who had once trusted her now feared her. She had become nothing but a shadow of her former self, speaking in ridicule and madness. What a lie.